Hey students, this is Mr. Hay. This is just an overview of how to go from your 3 by 3 inch final draft concept to a 6 by 6 inch final draft concept. The 6 by 6 inch piece of paper is important to use to make the clay tile. You can check out the speed art version of the clay tile demonstration. So the relationship here is you have a 3 by 3 final draft, as you can see on the right side of the screen there, slightly covered up, and the 6 by 6 is double in length and it's double in height. Okay, so the most important thing here is you're not actually doing any new designing on the 6 by 6, but you are simply transferring a quality design um, to the larger paper, and you want to do it with proper proportion. So it's actually volume wise, or area wise I should say, it's 4 times bigger, but with respect to the length, everything's double, and with respect to the height of everything, it's all double. So the first step that you want to do is take your final draft piece of paper and find the middle of everything, and all you have to do is take the ruler and go corner to corner and make a really light line, and then corner to corner the other way to make a really light line, and the center of the X is the middle of your paper. Now you can butt your ruler up to that point and make sure that the ruler is parallel to the right side or any side of the paper, and you draw the line, and you do that both directions. That gives you a plus sign. So now we have these guidelines that are not part of the design, but they tell us exactly where the middle of the paper is, and that will help us make sure everything is symmetrical if we want it to be symmetrical, but also it can help us enlarge. Now in my design I've got a 6-inch diameter circle, so I'm going to use a compass. If you're in class and you have access to one of these, put that little hole right in the middle of your circle, and use your fingers on the white plastic part and press down really hard so that the orange part will be able to freely move around, just like that. And on this orange safety compass there are a variety of holes. That's the diameter. I'm going to put it in a 3-inch spot, and then I just dance that pencil around, and that will get a perfect circle. If you have other ways to make a large circle or a circle that you need, you can trace something. If you have a different kind of compass, you could use that. And as a friendly reminder, your design might not have a circle at all, but this is a final draft. On a final draft, if you have circles, use circle tracers. If you have straight lines, use a straight edge. So that H right there, if I measure it, it's about 1.5 inches wide. So if it's 1.5 inches wide on the 3 by 3, then I need to make it about double that on the 6 by 6, which would be 3 inches. So let's check this out. There we go. So there we go. What I like to do is start on a number, and I'm going to go out 1.5 inches to the right and 1.5 inches to the left. That's 3 inches centered, and that will get the about the right size. So one of the big mistakes that people make when they're doing this is when they're transferring their design, they don't actually make everything big enough. They kind of draw it taller, but it ends up being really skinny. So try to pay attention to the thickness of everything on your design, as well as the height and the width. So basically that H compared to that small square should correspond to my large H compared to the large square. And I'm looking at the M there, and I'm just deciding how big is it, figuring out where all the parts are. And now I can use the guidelines, and I can start to draw out that large H. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at the smaller 3 by 3 and where everything is compared to those guidelines, and then I'm using the larger guidelines on the 6x6 to try to match those same relationships the best that I can. And that's what I want you to do, and I want you to do the best that you can. Alright, so you can just watch me complete the rest of the drawing here. You can see how I'm analyzing the M, and I'm just trying to make everything properly proportioned. The M compared to the large square should be the same as the small m compared to the small square. And if you get everything properly proportioned, it should work. If you make any mistakes, eraser lines are not a problem. Remember that when you are making the design, if you've seen the speed art video or the demonstration, step one is we're going to take this and we're going to lay it on top of our clay square and trace it, and the pressure from our tracing will leave an indentation onto the clay. So ultimately, all that matters is what you trace. It doesn't matter if you have eraser lines. This paper will end up going into the trash when we're finished. Alright, so you can complete this video and watch me finish it, or if you think you're ready to move on and get yours started, then have a good day.